except instead of back in black, we're back in Moab.
Back in red.
Back in red, that's right.
It's time for another adventure, and what better place to have one than the adventure capital of the world, Moab, Utah.
This has got to be the coolest place in the world.
I agree.
.35s are tiny, apparently. I thought they were huge, but they're not.
I've had a perma grin on my face all day.
Moab isn't just a place to visit. It's an adrenaline-charged landscape carved from stone and sky.
I'm the king of the world!
Tucked in between towering red rock formations and the mighty Colorado River, Moab is one of the most iconic adventure destinations in the American Southwest. As fun as all that stuff looks, I was here for the Jeep trails. After that first trip to Moab, I learned a lot about wheeling on these infamous red rocks.
Looks like we've got just enough to do this. I've got one left.
This winter, I would add just a few mods to my Jeep, so it was just a bit more prepared for this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Land. New inner fenders to give the 37-inch Mickey Thompsons the breathing room they need. More trimming to the flares, a new heavy-duty clutch paired with a B&M short throw shifter. And after 12 years, I finally centered my rear axle with an adjustable track bar from Clayton Off-Road. One of the most important mods I did though was new seats, and these were worth every penny spent. Unlike last year's solo adventure where it was just Ray and I have a small crew joining me this year. Danny Dubenstein and Michael Turner would be joining us. Contrary to what the liberal media would have y'all believe, crossing the border was as easy as it's ever been. No blockades, no strip searches, and certainly no need for burner phones.
Welcome to America.
Go Bulls America, land of guns and freedom.
Yeah!
Jeep in its natural habitat.
So the weather is markedly different than last year. So we're gonna just kind of cheat. And there, we're almost in Utah. Yay!
The only issue we had was the weather and the sociopathic drivers on Interstate 15 through Salt Lake City. We earned our first honor badge on the week here. By the time we got to Helper, Utah, the weather started to clear, and we all started to get excited about the prospect of hitting the trails tomorrow. Denny's rig is on point, a Hemi-powered JKU on 40s that he daily drives.
Really happy with my rig build. It's just done exceptional.
In addition to just starting out his build, this would be Michael's first real off-road experience. It's been nothing but redneck wheeling up until now. Ideally, we would hit the Bunny Hill first, but Finn's didn't fit into our schedule this year, much to Ray's disappointment since she finally learned how to say the name properly.
Things and things. Ha! I can pronounce it now without trying to summon a demonic entity.
But our first trail was still in the Sand Flats rec area. It was no Bunny Hill though. It would be trial by fire for Michael and his passenger princess, wife Colleen. Even though this is Michael's first taste of real off-road, it was the seasoned vet, Danny, that had a few issues to start out with. 4Low didn't want to engage. It eventually did, but this would be an issue that would nag Dubenstein more in the days to come. One thing about some of the trails here in Moab, they have these ominous names that clearly instill a sense of fear and dread in all who hear them. In reality though, Hell's Revenge isn't a difficult trail, and newbie Michael was doing just fine on his first real off-road trail. The real goal today was an obstacle I was unable to complete last year, and it has been an itch in my brain ever since.
Got an audience.
Always do.
The obstacle in question is none other than the infamous Hell's Gate. Last year, due to a nasty fender flare rub, I had to play spectator as good pals from upstate New York, Evan and Ralph, tackled the obstacle. Unlike Evan, whose JKU powered up the gate like it was nothing, Ralph in his TJ had some issues.
Driver!
Which could have ended in yet another infamous Hell's Gate viral video.
Go! Back out, back out, back out! Woo!
Though his line wasn't perfect, the long wheelbase JKU just drove up like it was on level ground.
It was awesome. Probably the best trail I've ever had the Jeep on. The terrain's amazing. It's like being on a totally different planet.
Now it was Ray and I's turn. The interesting thing about the gate is that the entrance is almost as much of a challenge as the more famous exit.
Yeah, I'm just coming up to the bottom here. That entrance was wild. It would be fun to turn around and crawl up that.
Gotta pay the Pied Piper, every dog will have his day. I don't stress the mess, cause it's all so cliche. You can run around in circles, but it always ends the same. You'll be swinging from the end of the dead man's chain.
The thing about Hell's Gate is it's high risk, low reward. If you make it, everybody's like, whoop-de-doo. My buddy in a Crown Victoria made it. And if you don't make it,
I'm no angel, I'm no savior, and I've never been a saint. Well, I know I'm not the devil, cause I still can feel the pain. I walked through fire and through brimstone, and there were no pearly gates. I'll be sure to ask about it on my final judgment day. Judgment day.
While two-door Jeeps are badasses on level ground, they don't like steep ascents as much as their four-door counterparts do. As you can tell from my face, I really wasn't liking my line all that much. I was right. I missed my turn and ended up off the line, literally by inches.
I don't usually get scared like at all during this, so I'm kind of shook right now.
just relax.
Even though this obstacle has in fact been conquered by Crown Victorias, Kias, minivans, even crappy Subarus, it was still a rush. The gate also has the unique distinction of being the only obstacle I've ever done that has actually scared Ray.
That's an exaggeration. I was shaken, not scared.
Shaken, not stirred.
Sure.
The James Bond of 4x obstacles. So you won't know this in the video because I'm going to edit it seamlessly, but I actually did it twice. We had some technical problems with one of the cameras, no big deal. It was not the perfect conditions today either because there was a lot of standing water in the base and my tires were wet till about halfway.
Or maybe I'm just making up excuses for not running the perfect line the first time up. Either way, mission accomplished. Next, we climbed up the Slick Rock Loop to check out the hot tubs. try the car wash out. Until he saw it. Then we moved on to Mickey's hot tub, the smaller of the two.
Well, it's steeper than I thought it was.
I know, and this is the baby one.
For a baby, yeah. I don't know. I gotta drive home still, so.
Film never ever does these justice. It's like straight down. It's like a 70 degree. At least.
We were done with the hot tubs, but we weren't done with Hell's Revenge just yet. Our next obstacle was the tip over challenge. While I love wheeling with a manual transmission, sometimes they can be a pain. I wasn't quite used to the ACT heavy flywheel. And yes, that's my excuse, and I am in fact sticking with it. While this obstacle is YouTube famous, after running it, I have found that tubers have once again been overly dramatic about this one. It was just a matter of climbing up with the appropriate amount of skinny paddle. I decided to take the group out on the backside of Hell's. I hadn't done any research on this exit, and I had no idea what to expect. This would be a first time for all of us. Upon completing this first obstacle, I knew that we had a problem. Michael's 35s. And the straggler we picked up this morning at the staging area in a bone stock Gladiator. Danny and I for sure had our work cut out for us, spotting these smaller rigs to ensure they didn't get wrecked up here. The bypasses were limited and still offered a significant challenge for our small-wheeled counterparts.
Not so much. No. I really liked that exit. That was a lot of fun. Not what I was expecting. A little bit more technical than I thought, but I mean, that's part of exploring, is you explore and learn new things. And we learned that that route is a little bit more technical, but the sights, the views are totally worth it.
While I much preferred this route over the usual exit, Dubenstein and I were suffering a bit of spotter's fatigue. And I think everyone was pretty much ready to get off this trail at this point.
Are we gonna stop before we get on the pavement?
Yep, I'm just pulling up here.
Very good, because I can't shift that on 4 high now.
Absolutely amazing. Breathtaking scenery, unbelievable wheeling. I've had a perma grin on my face all day. Just never imagined it would be like this. Now it's only day one.
But what did Michael, the rookie, think about his first real off-road trail?
It blew my expectations, honestly. I didn't quite, I thought I had an idea what it would be like, and it was way better than I could ever have imagined it would be like. Any video or anything does not do it justice at all. You have to come and see it in person.
Even my video?
Well, your video's accepted, of course. But Mickey's hot tub and stuff, seeing it on video, it doesn't do it justice. It's so much steeper than I ever thought it would be. Amazing trail, amazing views. It was a lot of fun.
Hell's Revenge would be Michael's first, and unfortunately, it would be his last Moab trail that he would take his Jeep on this week. While the rest of the group headed back to their campsite, Ray and I weren't quite done running trails just yet.
So we decided to do an evening run down Chicken Corners. We just kind of started about half hour ago. It's just a bumpy little road, not really a trail, just too high for the wind. But the views in here are pretty stellar. This is just super cool.
Located only a few minutes from the Moab town site is one of the most spectacular trails the area has to offer.
I do kind of wish I aired down to smoothen these bumps out just a little bit. But it is what it is.
Just after getting started, we encountered a problem. A big problem.
Ruby's not 100% right now. It seems that I might need a thermostat. It's not like it's overheating, but the fan is on all the time. So we decided to stop climbing the hill just to be safe. And might be a trip to, I guess, Napa tomorrow. Problem is, I've got a Napa in there right now, and it's pretty fresh. It's only maybe 15,000 kilometers old.
Was the problem just a thermostat or something bigger, like a head gasket? Could our Moab adventure be over just after one day? One trail? Would I even be able to make the 2,000 plus kilometer drive back home without major repairs?
Yeah. Here we have a Jeep in its natural habitat. Broken. But the thing is, it wasn't a Mopar part that failed. It's a shitty Napa part that failed. Friends don't let friends buy Napa, I guess. Can you see where it's leaking? Can you just give that screw a twist?
Thermostat swapped, coolant system burped. I was now set for one of Moab's signature trails.
Well, mechanical crisis seems to have been averted. The fan isn't going crazy. Temperature's below half. All good. And today we are doing a trail called the Trifecta. It's a combination of 3 trails.
It starts out with the Poison Spider. The middle leg is Golden Spike, and it wraps up with the Gold Bar Rim Trail. These 3 trails form a demanding off-road route, known for its technical obstacles, steep slick rock climbs, and expansive desert views.
Does that sound ominous? Poison spider?
Yes. Not because it's spiders, because it's poisonous. I like spiders, just not the poisonous ones.
Well, I don't like spiders.
Why? The ones you have in blue can't hurt you.
Yeah, but these can. I don't like spiders. Not one bit. I like cats and maybe 3 people.
All 3 are rated at a 7 difficulty, but so is Hell's Revenge, an easy trail in my opinion, a solid 4 at best. Will these trails live up to their ratings? Or will they have more bark than bite? One thing is certain, with 32 kilometers worth of trail, this was a long run. And given that we were over an hour behind schedule already, we were in for a very long day. This trail was just a bit beyond the capabilities of Michael's Jeep. Today, it would just be the 2 of us.
Once more unto the breach.
Danny, once again, had to wrestle with the shifter to get his trusty NP241 Rubicon transfer case into its 4-to-1 low range. He finally got it sorted and we were off, well over an hour behind schedule. The Poison Spider Mesa Trail kicks off from the trailhead just off Potash Road with a short grind through loose sand, cobbles, and early slick rock, complete with tight switchbacks. All in all, pretty easy. But that would change drastically very soon, and it would not let up all day long.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the spout.
So because film doesn't really do this justice, I mean, you kind of see how steep this is. And like there is no lacking for grip, there's hardly any wheel spin at all. Did I mention there's grip? Come to Moab, expect grip.
We arrived at yet another YouTube famous obstacle, the waterfall. I have to be completely honest with y'all at this point. Any tuber that makes this obstacle out to be challenging in any way is a total and complete candy ass. It was fun. Yeah, it looked cool, but it was like a 1 out of 10. I was just starting to wonder when this trail would step it up a notch or two. Things got a bit more challenging just around the corner, where we encountered our first traffic jam. This usually happens when the trail gets more difficult, which it did. Minutes in, and we have traveled a whopping 4.6 kilometers. But we were also stopping at every single viewpoint to take in the unreal views just like this one. The trail continued to throw a few more challenges our way, each one more fun than the previous. So far, we were absolutely loving Poison Spider. We stopped for lunch at an overlook, which gave us a great view of the Moab Rim Trail and the snow-covered peaks of the LaSalle mountain range in the background. Just surreal. The 8.4 kilometers of Poison Spider had taken us nearly 3 hours, which wasn't too bad considering the relative aggressiveness of the trail and all the extra stops to properly film our progress. We now transitioned from Poison Spider and onto the Golden Spike segment of the run. Almost immediately, we were greeted by an obstacle with a very appropriate name: the launch pad. Because our wives will be watching this, I will not be revealing the angle. All I will say is that we have never been on an obstacle steeper than this one. You know it's steep when all you see out the windshield is sky. The rock formations on Golden Spike are the most unique I have ever seen. Just when you think it can't get any more spectacular, the trail throws something like this your way. These alcoves form when layers of water, wind, and temperature variations erode softer parts of the sandstone, while harder layers remain, creating these natural recessed overhangs. A great place to hide from the sun for a little bit. The deep canyon of Narrow Ravine also offered us a short break from the beating sun. This led us straight to Zuki Hill, although it's really not much of a hill. One thing is certain, if you are planning on doing the trifecta, I strongly recommend lockers. Wheeling here is such a unique experience. It's a totally different vibe than the Rocky Mountain wheeling we're used to.
Here it's just one thing after the other, and you get a few little breaks here and there. Back home, you get one or two little rock faces here and there, and then that's it. The rest is mud and water, river crossings.
The temperature today was significantly higher than yesterday. It was nearing 30 degrees Celsius. And again, for a bunch of Burtons, this is hot.
Have no AC, so hence the natural AC.
At least you're still wearing pants.
That could change. I can't decide whether today trail is even better than yesterday. I'm kind of leaning towards so, but then again, Hell's Revenge was awesome as well. So
the trail was leaving its mark, not only on my soul, but on my bumper as well.
Dude, your little tailpipe is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Well, yours looks the same, so there.
Well, I felt that Poison Spider was a bit easier than I expected. Golden Spike was starting to get challenging, but with the end in sight, I can't see it surpassing Spider's difficulty.
Get ready for a thud. Well, each year we do a different trail that becomes my favorite, but I think now this one is past 7 Mile Rim is my new favorite Moab trail. Just because the views, I mean, it's like just insane. The rock formations and what we're seeing here, it's almost from a different planet. It's just awesome.
Each time we stopped to look at the valley beside us, it was yet another postcard moment. At 8.4 kilometers in length, the Golden Spike segment was the exact same distance as Poison Spider. However, this leg of the trifecta took us 3.5 hours. No doubt because of all the scenic lookouts. We still had one trail left, the Gold Bar Rim. And this first obstacle really set the tone for what we would encounter ahead. We were now crawling along the top of the rock face seen upon entering Moab. Arches National Park can be seen way off in the distance.
This is now my #1 most favorite trail on Earth. Enjoy it. We've got a long way to go still. That's a big ass crack.
That's what she said.
Danny, with the luxury of massive tires, didn't even need his lockers for this one. To make things a bit easier on my U-joints, I entered the crack with open diffs and locked them once the front end was unloaded a bit. Shortly after the Golden Crack, we were greeted by a wall of rocks, named simply as the Golden Staircase. 6 hours into our run, mental fatigue was starting to settle in at the worst possible time. Several poor decisions had already been made. The most glaring being no lockers.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not.
Fucking shit. I blew a bead. I know, I heard it. I'm just moving off the trail.
A blown bead would have been an easy trail fix. I had done something much worse.
First time I'm ever using this. So what happened was I got up on the ledge, but to get up there I had to bump it. And I couldn't stop fast enough. And the boulder stopped us for us.
Do it from maybe one of these things, but we're gonna have to ratchet strap the axle to the frame. I'm just gonna pull this out.
Just want to get this started, and then I'll get to that.
Okay. Don't lose your nuts.
I'm not gonna lose my nuts.
Changing a tire isn't the most fun thing to do when you're 6+ hours into a trail run, and it's hot, and you're tired, and you're a bit mad at yourself. The two of us did make pretty short work of this tire swap, and we were back underway inside of 20 minutes. One of the benefits of running a steel rim is that a bend like this is a pretty easy fix, even on the trail. If only one of us had a hammer that wasn't made of rubber.
First the thermostat, now this. I'm not getting too old for this shit, but damn.
The only damage sustained was to the steel rim. Everything else is totally fine. With HD everything underneath my Jeep, not only do I have the confidence to explore, but the confidence that I can drive away from a hard hit like that one. We've now been on the trail for nearly 8 hours. With obstacles like Golden Crack, the Golden Staircase, Double Whammy, and Body Snatcher, I feel that the Gold Bar Rim is the most technically challenging trail on the Trifecta, the only one deserving of the 7 rating.
Yeah, so the Trifecta is a long freaking trail. If I'd ever do it again, I would probably try to find a way to break it apart and not do them all at once. The Golden Spike was probably my favorite part, and there's no real easy way to get to it, except if you do Poison Spider first. We're spent. We're friggin' exhausted. But hey man, this is a bucket list trail. Do it once. It's a whole bunch of pain while you do it. Oh, at least on hour 9 or 8. But I am trying my best to, you know, enjoy it while it's here. And even though it kind of sucked blowing that rim, I'm trying to just kind of put the negativity behind me and just focus on the positives.
It's pretty hard to focus on positives when you come up to yet another obstacle that is basically a massive vertical wall of rock. The Gold Bar waterfall ain't no little sissy waterfall like the one on Poison Spider. While I'm sure that Danny's, and maybe even my Jeep, could have made this obstacle, neither of us have ever been so happy to see a tether point as we were at this moment in time. We were in no mental condition to even try this one. We were done, completely spent. And just like that, the Gold Bar Rim Trail turned into a dirt road, and we were freaking elated. A mere 10 hours after starting, Danny, Ray, and I had conquered the Trifecta. This is truly an honor badge-worthy trail, and was probably the hardest 32.5 kilometers, or 20 miles, of wheeling I have ever done. Days later, we would all come to the realization that this was an absolutely amazing trail, one of Moab's best, But for right now, we were just happy that it was over. Before our self-proclaimed Sabbath day could really begin, I had to get my tires sorted. Fortunately, there are loads of tire shops in town. The Grand Tire Pros hammered out my Steely for free. Because Canadian shops would have found a way to charge me $600 for this, I gave the tech a $100 tip and called it a day.
Wait.
So today we're doing the tourist thing. No jeeping.
Pancakes.
Right? Tourists.
Then we need like fanny packs and like those cameras that you can use a few times, then you throw them away. And then the hats and the sunglasses. I don't know how else tourists act.
You making fun of old people?
Oh yeah. You have to be like at least over 60 to be a real tourist.
First off, we did some shopping. And not for any of those stupid ducks.
Hold it.
Since yesterday was a pretty long day on a pretty aggressive trail, today's our midway through our adventure and we're taking it easy. No trails today, we're just doing Arches National Park. If you do come to Moab, make sure you put in a rest day, because I mean these trails, they will wear you out.
As you can see, the upper half is two bum cheeks, and then there's a little butthole in the middle. And then over here, I have a fine looking penis. End of my story.
So this amazing place has been reduced to a pair of ass cheeks and a wiener, according to Dubenstein. Regardless of what he has reduced this place to, I can't think of a better place to spend a non-trail day than Arches National Park. I didn't have the heart to suggest that we try out one of the mild off-road trails that do actually run through this park. Instead, we took a nice leisurely hike through the Devil's Garden.
Slow-mo running right as you go by.
Joke's on them. I film everything at 120 frames per second. It's pretty crucial to take a day of rest in the middle of your Moab trip. After our day off, we were refreshed and set for another trail day tomorrow.
It's been really awesome. Until you actually see it in person, you have no idea. I could stick with the easy trails, but the first one we ran was a little bit beyond my capabilities of a passenger princess.
Even though Michael may have ended up driving 4,500 kilometers to do exactly one trail, he was still in awe.
You gotta come and try it. I watched a million videos and thought I kind of knew what was going to happen, and I did not know what was going to happen. It was totally figuring it out on the go, that I was not prepared as I thought I would be. I wanted to like flex it all out when we were at home before we left and made sure nothing was rubbing or catching, and I would have caught all those little tiny problems, and I didn't. I was just like, we'll be okay. And then, no.
Minor setbacks.
More mechanical problems for our little group.
Black to red and red to black, right?
Yeah.
As we would discover later on, Danny's battery took an absolute pounding on the Trifecta run. The brace holding it in place has caved it in, and it no longer has the capacity to hold a charge overnight. But with no time to waste, we just gave it a boost and we were off, early, to try to avoid the higher temperatures. Let's not forget, Danny doesn't have AC, and we're from Berta, eh?
Second last day. Happy? Tired. We're out. So today we are heading over to Top of the World. I'm going to change things up a little bit from last year. We are going to take Rose Garden Hill on the way down and hit up Onion Creek on the way out.
Last year's trip to the Top of the World was an unforgettable experience. Not because of the trail, not even because of the views, but rather the crazy weather. This year, the weather looks perfect. So right out of the gate, this trip looks to be a whole lot less dramatic. With the exception that we're down a rig.
You're like arguing at me, straighten your wheels. I'm like, dude, the steering wheel's straight. So if the wheels aren't straight, we got a problem. I got some squeaking and some things going on.
Just like it was on Trifecta, it would be just 2 Jeeps. Given that this is a relatively tame trail, we should be able to avoid more mechanical failures. But this is an off-road trail, and when Jeeps are involved, anything can happen.
Top of the world. One of Moab's most spectacular and annoying trails.
I could be a bit off on this, but when compared to last year's run up the same trail, it seems more challenging this year.
Picked the wrong line. I tried to go straight up the ledge. First unlocked, no dice. Rear locker, no dice. Front locker, no dice. Back right off. Turned all lockers off. Went a couple feet to the side, no lockers, no problem.
We are now at top of the world's only real obstacle. Although I feel the trail's gotten a bit rougher than last year. Who knows, maybe in 5 or 10 years this will be the new Pritchett Canyon run. You never know.
While we were without Michael's rig, we were not without Michael. Today he was the passenger princess.
You know what? It's easy on the body. I'll give you that. It's not very rewarding though. Not very fulfilling. Just kind of like a tea bag, just getting bobbed around, not doing anything. The first thing I'm doing though is buying those damn Falcon shocks, because I cannot get over the difference. Like, even just the easy part coming up here, I'd have been sloshing and banging and slammed all around, and this thing is just like, yeah. Minute I get back home, pay off this trip, and then buying the shocks. It's first thing. Have good shocks when you come out here. It's a must.
Danny and I are both rocking the Falcon 3.3s. On trails like the ones here in Moab, between the adjustability and the increased down travel, they are a huge advantage. As are lockers.
I have faith. You don't need no stinking lockers. How's the arm feeling?
Not too bad. The rest of me is hot as balls though.
It's a long, monotonous trail towards the summit. Between that and the lack of AC in pretty hot conditions, I think that Danny and Michael were starting to lose it just a little bit.
I wish I could do a Richard Attenborough impersonation. Behold the majestic Jeep in its natural habitat. I'm recording us being recorded.
Precious. Precious.
French. Oh, treat. Don't want to get Michael bitch slapped. Probably get enough of that at home.
Oh, wow. I have no idea how far ahead you can go.
Well, this isn't my favorite trail in the world. The view at the top makes it totally worth it. For a bunch of hicks from Berta, views like this don't come around too often.
I'm pretty much vibrating right now. Like honestly, I got the shivers just after seeing so many different shots of this and videos, just online, pictures, forums, everything. Finally got to get them of my rig. So pretty cool, pretty excited. Definitely the highlight of the trip so far.
This is incredible. Like, I've been fortunate to be in some very magnificent places in my life, you know, all through the Rocky Mountains and everything like that. I've never seen anything like this. This is unbelievable.
Michael's right. It's hard to duplicate a view like this. Farnham, Hailstorm, Rico do come to mind as the only Canadian trails that could be compared to this one. Things went a bit sideways on the way down. My phone, very unexpectedly, sprang to life.
Okay, I didn't know you were gone. Okay, we'll talk again then.
Okay, bye.
Whereabouts in Utah are you?
Moab?
No, don't know where that is. Okay, that's fine.
You ever heard of Arches National Park?
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah, there.
Okay. Okay, well, be careful that you don't fall and break a leg or something like that.
I'm not walking, I'm driving.
Oh, you're just with the car, okay.
It's not a car, it's a Jeep.
Oh, it's a Jeep, okay. Okay, well, I'll let you go then and have a good time then.
All right, bye.
You can call me when you get back then.
Okay, that'll be next week.
Yeah, okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Can't even on the side of a mountain, I can't escape my mother.
It's a Jeep, not a car.
Well, it's not a car.
She's old and
Matters not. It's bad enough that they call it a freaking minivan on my registration. No, it's a station wagon. It's registered as a station wagon. Does it look like a freaking station wagon?
Crisis over, and I was slowly untriggering myself. Car. Pfft. It's a Jeep, not a car. Even though we were on the much easier counterclockwise route, mechanical issues might be rearing their ugly head yet again. The Dubenstein rig has been making some really weird sounds, most of which were coming from a spring that had popped out of its lower perch a few days ago on Hell's Revenge. But now, there was a new noise. And the heat of the day was really starting to take its toll on Danny and Michael.
My floor is so hot, I can't even put my bare feet on it.
Yeah, your transmission tunnel is cooking.
As it turns out, I was having a tiny issue of my own. A proprietary bolt had backed out of my Synergy track bar stud. Since the stabilizer's not really needed with my big bore steering box, I removed it altogether for the rest of the trip. Oh, speaking of steering stabilizers, they do not fix death wobble. Sorry, tangent, had to be said. The smoothness of this road was a much needed break from the constant back and forth rocking of the Top of the World trail.
Is that rattle getting worse or staying about the same?
It's the same. I'm almost sure it's a mount of the exhaust or heat shield or something.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
So yeah, I have no idea what this trail is like. My understanding is it's pretty easy to the hill and then after the hill, but the hill itself is kind of like what we did on the back side of Hell's.
Okay. So it might be just a bit more aggressive than that. But after the trifecta, Danny and I were up for anything. Or so I thought. More issues with Dubenstein's four-wheel drive. It refused to shift into 4-low. Frustrated with his transfer case, And with early onset of heat exhaustion, Danny's day was done. We started with 3 Jeeps, and now mine was the last one
The
standing.
thing about these trails is they really test your rig. You know, we're a little bit spoiled in Canada. We got pretty easy shit. When you come down here, every tiny little weak spot is exploited. It's a little disappointing, but it's better to be safe than to try to do a difficult descent with no four-wheel drive.
Looks like Ray and I will be doing the last 2 trails solo.
Well, I shouldn't say again, we never actually finished it because I had a thermostat issue. But that's now resolved. It's like 34 Celsius, I don't know, it's like 90 something Fahrenheit, and I got the AC on and we're below half, so all good. When you are wheeling, it's probably not the worst idea in the world to have a spare thermostat with you, because it is actually a really quick fix. You know, we did it inside a half an hour. But yeah, we got it all fixed. We're back on Chicken Corners. Unfortunately, we're doing it solo. My crew's headed back to Canada, eh? They broke, eh?
Right on.
Right on, eh? How's she going, eh?
I can't speak like
You can't do Canadian?
I can't. I can do Morocco.
Land of guns and freedom.
Heck yeah. Like, tractors and cowboys.
Straightening the curves, flattening them hills.
Well, I mean, the last thing I want to do is flatten any of these hills. It's what makes this trail one of the most spectacular Moab trails I may ever go on. The climb up to Hurrah Pass was easy, but nothing could possibly prepare us for what lie on the other side of the summit.
They chew you up and spit you out. You're left for dead. With the wink of an eye. No remorse, no regret. No one ever taught you how to play this game. Heed the warnings, read the signs, and lay your money down. 2 for 1, 1 for nothing. One shot jackpot, hit the ground. Hit the ground.
And a really, really cool trail. Hurrah Pass is just hurrah! It was awesome. And this trail, like the rest of the way to Chicken Corners, is pretty cool because it kind of follows the route of the Colorado River as it makes its way into southern Utah, Nevada, Arizona. It's a very, very cool trail.
After a couple hours, we arrived at the reason this trail is called Chicken Corners. This name comes from a particularly narrow and exposed section of the trail where early travelers, and even some today, might chicken out due to the height of the drop-off.
really see why they call this chicken corners. I mean, if you got a thing with heights like I do, gives me the heebie-jeebies. Anyways, we made it with just enough light for all the cameras and stuff, and it's a beautiful sunset. We've got, you know, probably a couple hours worth of drive out, so we should be getting some pretty amazing starscapes. At least that's my hope. But Chicken Corners is a two-wheel drive run, but man, is it worth it. It is absolutely beautiful.
We started our run to Chicken Corners with a desert that was set ablaze by a fiery sunset. As we finished our run under the cover of darkness, a magnificent canopy of stars unfolded above us, turning an already unforgettable journey into something truly remarkable. After the Trifecta trail, I was set to pack up and go home. But after this run, I'm sad that tomorrow is our last day here in Moab, and we had just one trail left to run.
Well, it's our last day in Moab for 2025, and I guess it's kind of become a tradition of ours. I mean, tradition, we've only been here once. It's now the second time, but we're calling it a tradition. Last day, 7 Mile Rim. You ready for a nice Sunday drive through the desert?
It's Friday.
While it isn't a technical trail, and it really won't be a workout for my suspension in any way, this is still a stunning trail.
So I'm pretty sure this is one of my favorite spots in the world. I mean, these little buttes are amazing. Just love it here. Super, super cool. It's not a difficult trail at all. I mean, there's a couple obstacles we took just for fun, but it's actually pretty easy. But I just can't think of a better way to finish up a trip in Moab, or a trip to Moab rather, with such prototypical or quintessential landmarks. Just awesome.
I'm sure many will debate this, but for me, if there is one trail that truly defines a Moab trail, 7 Mile Rim is the one. There's just something about this trail that has a hold of me, a soul tie, if you will. As awe-inspiring as the Trifecta was, I have to admit, the 7 Mile Rim is still my favorite trail here. I only wish I could have shared it with my friends. As the guide of this little adventure, it was one of the things I was really looking forward to. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad they had fun on the trails they did do.
Love it, love it, love it. Would come every year if I could.
I can just imagine what their reactions to these epic vistas would have been.
Looking back, thinking back over the week, I'm old, immature, but smart enough or old enough to realize, to know you have to live life to the fullest and don't think about things too much. If you want to do something, just do it. Get it done and over with. That's what made me come out here, that thinking. And it's been a crazy, awesome experience. I could see myself retiring here. Honestly, I'd rather come here than Alberta any day. I haven't been to the US for 20 years. Back then, people were as friendly as I can remember. And coming back this first time this week, I swear Americans are even more friendly than Canadians back home. Every single person I've met here has been awesome and great, friendly.
It's a good thing I'm not mainstream media, otherwise I'd edit that out.
Yeah. Awesome to share this experience with you.
You too.
And you too there, houseboat.
Yeah, I know. Are we gonna walkie it back?
I savored these last few moments on this final Moab trail for the year. Looking back, and even with the minor mechanical issues, this is a very rewarding trip. 5 trails in 5 days, including Hell's Gate and the infamous Trifecta. I have done a lot of trails in my 2 trips here, but I'm far from done with Moab. As I look at my final sunset for this trip, I knew this would not be my final adventure in this amazing place. But Colorado's Alpine Loop is certainly an interesting destination for 2026. You'll just have to stay tuned to find out what's next.